AI hiring tools favor white associated names 85% of the time, while black male candidates are almost never selected over white male applicants with identical qualifications. If you've been wondering whether algorithms are screening you out of job opportunities, you're probably right to be concerned. These AI systems aren't as objective as companies claim. They're actually amplifying the same biases that have plagued hiring for decades, just at a much larger scale. This 4-part video series will break down exactly how these algorithms discriminate against women, minorities, older workers, and people with disabilities. And I'll show you the real data behind what's happening in hiring rooms across the world. We'll also cover what you can do to protect yourself and recognize when AI bias might be working against you. Welcome to part 1 of our 4-part video series on responsible AI hiring. In this episode, we lay the foundation for what's to come, so be sure to watch all the way through. When you're ready, check the description box below. We've included direct links to parts 2, 3, and 4, so you can continue your learning journey without missing a beat. How AI hiring systems actually discriminate. Most of the big resume screening tools are trained on past hiring decisions. Those historical records look objective on the surface, but they're steeped in the same human prejudices companies have carried for decades. Take a typical tech data set the researchers analyzed last year. Almost 80% of successful resumes belong to men, because men had been hired far more often in earlier years. Feed that pattern into an algorithm and it quietly learns that male is a signal of success. It doesn't need to see the word man on a resume. Tiny clues like certain first names, sports teams, and even verb choices tip it off. Once the model is deployed, women mysteriously drop down the ranked list, even when their skills match line for line. One of the clearest examples came from Amazon in 2018. Engineers found that their experimental hiring AI consistently downgraded resumes containing words such as women's, as in women's chess club captain. The system also penalized graduates of 2 all-female colleges simply because those schools had never appeared on resumes the company marked as top performers in the past. Amazon scrapped the tool, but dozens of vendors now sell similar technology, with far less public oversight. Historical bias doesn't stop at gender. If a sales department has hired mostly white candidates, the model embeds that racial pattern. If senior roles have skewed younger because managers subconsciously preferred fresh energy, the AI infers that age is a minus for leadership. That's the danger of calling a model data-driven. Data is only a mirror. If the reflection is warped, the algorithm magnifies the distortion. Even when developers try to neutralize gender and race, their design choices sneak inequality back in through the side door. Many resume screeners give extra weight to the university field because in testing, graduates from a short list of elite schools performed well. That looks rational until you remember only about 5% of U.S. college students attend those institutions, and they skew whiter and wealthier than the general population. By prioritizing an Ivy League or equivalent, the algorithm silently tilts the funnel toward the already advantaged. Another common feature is employment continuity. Gaps longer than 6 months often trigger an automatic downgrade because, historically, uninterrupted careers correlated with promotions. Yet women are 4 times more likely than men to step out of the workforce for caregiving. People with disabilities may need periodic leave for treatment. When the model sees that blank space on a timeline, it flags the candidate as risky, even though the gap says nothing about their actual ability to code, sell, or manage. A 2024 audit by the University of Washington illustrates how destructive this can be. Researchers submitted identical resumes except for one detail: a 2-year gap labeled family caregiving. The AI screeners reduced the interview rate by 43% across all industries, with an even steeper drop, 58% in finance and tech. Developers often claim, "We've removed gender and race columns, so we're bias-free." What they overlook is proxy variables clues that stand in for protected traits. First names reveal ethnicity, graduation year signals age. A Bluetooth engineering internship at a startup in 2002 implies the applicant is over 40. Unless designers audit every feature for proxy effects, discrimination stays embedded, just hidden under mathematical layers. The consequence is scale. A human recruiter might skim 50 resumes a day and make biased choices for 10 candidates. An algorithm can screen 50,000 applications in an afternoon and spread that bias to thousands of people before anyone notices. That's why a single line of code weighting top-tier university at 20% can lock out an entire generation of community college grads overnight. With this in mind, we need to look at the hard numbers that show exactly who gets filtered out first. Next, let's dive into a surprising reality: how something as basic as your name on a resume can determine whether your application even gets seen. Before a human recruiter lays eyes on it, algorithms are already making decisions, sometimes in unfair ways. In part 2 of this video series, we uncover how resumes with white-sounding names often receive more favorable responses from commercial screening tools, revealing how bias can be baked into the very systems meant to streamline hiring. Don't miss it. There's a link in the description below. If you found today's episode eye-opening, hit the like button to support the series, share your personal hiring experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. And make sure to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of how AI and technology shape our everyday lives, often in ways we don't expect.